Alright, hey, what is up you guys? MadVax Gaming here with another episode of Monster High Investigation, or Monster High Paranormal Peril on Fortnite. It has two different names. We've discussed this in my video before. When you search it, it comes up as Monster High Investigation. In the actual game over here, and on the trailer that Monster High just released today, it's Paranormal Peril. So, it has two different names. And if you want to search in the island code, it is 3449-2677-1935. I'll have it in the description. So, you guys seem to really like the first video I did. It seemed to really catch on, and you left a lot of comments asking me a lot more questions, so I decided to make a part 2 and break things down a little bit more because I've been playing even more and have a lot more done. Also, look at all my Monster High dolls! I'm getting so close to having them all. It's like the freaking Infinity Stones, and the rest of my room is gorgeous. So, first question that you guys, I'm gonna get to that one of you guys asked me was, how do I decorate my room? This board right here, my friend. So, this one's mine. That's my username on here, because it's my old PlayStation name, and it was actually my old channel name if you've been subscribed to me long enough. That was me. I used to be obsessed with Marvel. Now, since they killed Iron Man, I'm over it. So, and I can't change it, unfortunately. It's just there. But anyway, as you can see, when you go up to the board right next to your room, you can tap on it. So then you hit, for me, it's square. Okay? And then you can scroll through and look at all the stuff. There's not a whole lot to decorate with. It's more just beach or snow, so like Abbey Laguna. I'm assuming more stuff will come out eventually, or at least I'm hoping so. And the trophies is how you get dolls. So as you can see, the trophies are the dolls, okay? And yeah, that's pretty much it. So desk, walls, you know, all that. You just walk up to it. You gotta make sure it's your board. Because it's confusing, because it says decorate your room and it points to Cleo, and she says that you can, but that's not actually the case. So I can see why it's confusing for you guys. Another question I had is, do your dolls disappear? No, my dolls have not disappeared. I have not had that glitch. They seem to be perfectly fine. But apparently some people's are disappearing and coming back after playing some different rounds. Other questions I have are you having trouble going through the door when you start investigation? I have not had that problem, but I also made sure to talk to all 5 girls, because when you first start, it says to talk to all 5 of them. Claudine's over here, Draculaura's over here, Cleo's over here, Frankie's here, Laguna was here, they just moved her. She's up here now. She's up here now. And they have like a little detailed board here with some more tutorial. Up here too, you can also get changed. There's a changing booth. That was there before, but just so you know, it's up there. And in here is where you can learn about the tools. So yeah, make sure you talk to all 5 ghouls. If you still can't get through the door, then maybe it's just running slow for you. It does run slow for me sometimes. Make sure you selected your map too. Maybe that's a problem. You didn't select your map. Other than that, that's all I can say. I have not had a problem starting the game. Does it run slow sometimes? Yes. Is it a little glitchy sometimes? Yes. Is it my PlayStation? Maybe, but it seems like you guys have had some glitches too. So I don't think it's just my PlayStation. I think it is just Fortnite and the fact that this game is new. Obviously an update is coming soon because we have hint drops of some new tools. Because if we go in our journal here and scroll all the way to the end, you can see coming soon, a camera, leave on a pedestal and aim for a selfie, and then it says place a disco ball on the pedestal, some ghosts can't resist a good boogie. So there's some new tools coming out, which is really exciting. I'm looking forward to that. And it also says that there's some new rooms coming out. We're supposed to get 2 more rooms at some point. So I'm really hoping that this game blows up and it gets all the hype that it needs so we can get more stuff. Next question that you guys have been asking me about is the currency, which is on the top of the screen there. You can see that they pay you in skeletts. I'm going to show you a little picture here and switch over to future MadVax and explain that to you. Hey guys, MadVax from the future here to quickly break this down for you. So this is a screenshot of after I won and guess the ghost correctly, okay? So this ghost was Ghoulia, and as you can see, I got a whole bunch of different skeletts because it was Ghoulia. Like, it even shows you in the diary, like, the different skeletts that you can get that, like, make up the ghost. Obviously, the main ghouls have, like, just, the main skelett as their main currency, but then I got a few bonuses because I found all of the bonus items. And then here I discovered it was Laguna and guessed correctly, and you can see I got a whole bunch of Laguna skeletts, but then I did get a few bonuses for guessing it correctly and again finding all those bonus items, the secret items. So it just depends on which ghost you solve, and you only get them if you solve it correctly. If you die, you just get a regular skelett. So if you're trying to collect ones so you can get the dolls and stuff, you gotta really go hardcore and make sure you're continuously guessing the ghost correctly, which comes with skill and honestly just some chance with it too. Alright, now that I've broken that down, now you understand how to get them, and it's like I said, you know, it really just depends on what ghost you catch, and then you can use all those skeletts to buy different things, and of course you always have a ton of regular, and unfortunately you just kind of end up running out of stuff to buy with regular. So hopefully they end up making more furniture, because I would love to keep redecorating the room over and over. Alright, and last thing that I feel like you guys have been asking me a lot of questions about is working with the tools. Like, everybody seems to be very confused about them, because when you come up here it says watch tutorial, and you can tap it, and the tutorials kind of, it kind of gets confusing. Like, when you watch the tutorial for the spirit box, we'll watch it. So see how it says evidence? That's what it's supposed to look like. But the thermometer is very confusing. The thermometer really doesn't show you what it's supposed to do. The glasses and the book and the camera and all that, they break it down pretty well, but the thermometer is very confusing. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what the examples look like in the game when they are actually going off for real. So Future Madvax is going to narrate all of that, and here you go. Here are all the clips of all the tools. Okay guys, here is me using the spirit box. So I called it. There she calls back, and then she literally chased me. So she has to be near you when she sets it off, but it makes that horrible sound, and it can be slightly delayed. Okay guys, here's what it looks like when you use the camera. You have 3 orbs there, that means that they're in the room, and then it set off the EMF, so that's what the EMF looks like. Neither one of them will work unless the ghost is in the room. So a good way to get them in the room is using the spirit box. Even if they don't make the spirit box talk, you can call them into the room and irritate them with it, and then you can check your cameras or have your friend calling him in the room to see if it set off the orbs or set off the EMF. Here's what it looks like when there are freezing temperatures. So you can see that it's significantly dropped, and the thermometer turns blue when normally the liquid inside is pink. So if it's pink and it's dropping, it's not freezing yet. You gotta watch until it turns that blue color that it is now, and then that counts as freezing temperatures. So it was a little confusing for me at first too, and someone in the comments actually helped me out, that it does not count unless it turns blue. If it's pink, it's not freezing. Here is what you see in the glasses. We have bad scare day, some scratches, and some footprints. Sometimes the shapes vary, but it'll be one of those. Last but not least, we have the book. This is what's written in it. Sometimes it says some different things, but this is what it will look like. And remember, it does not work unless you place it in a room, leave the room, and shut the door. She'll only fill it out when she's completely alone. Here's just a little bonus footage for you guys that I found really funny. On the bottom screen, my friend is playing with me split screen, and she's using the cameras, and then I'm on the top screen, and I'm in the room where the camera is, and it makes the camera move around, like the exact movements she's doing. And I just thought that was really cute detail, and I really like the hard work they put into this game, and I thought maybe you would enjoy that. Alright, now that we know how to do the tools, there is one more question I just remembered that you guys have been asking me. Breaker box locations. So let's start an investigation here. We're going to go in the regular main map of the school for now. Okay. Alright. we're not going to grab anything except for a flashlight because this is not going to be a real round. Also, if you're having trouble starting in this particular part, make sure to grab that key that I just grabbed right here. The key is right here, and then you go up to the door and you open the door. So if that's a part where you're having trouble getting in and that's what you're talking about when you can't start the game, you gotta unlock the door with the key right here. And I'll show you the same thing when we do the garden room, okay? And this is where you check your cameras. So when you put that camera down and you're looking for orbs, you gotta come back here to check it. That's very important. And this is where you run and hide when there are danger, okay? When there are dangerous things happening, you gotta run in these guys, okay? Or just running in this room in general seems to keep you safe from what I've noticed. So as of right now, I've been haunted by every single ghost now except for Cleo. I have not seen Cleo yet, but I will say some are much more aggressive than others. Draculaura is very aggressive. Laguna is very chill. I have a hard time catching, like, it takes a while to solve her. She's very chill. Rebecca is aggressive. Claudine is aggressive. Ghoulie is pretty chill. Frankie just constantly tortures your power. Venus can be really aggressive when it comes to messing with the doors and power. It can be really annoying. Caddy, she's kind of tricky to catch sometimes. I don't really have a super hard time with her. Spectra is kind of aggressive with haunting. Toralei messes with things like crazy that I've definitely noticed. So some are more chill than others. Draculaura, I literally couldn't even. I got her once, and I was working as a team with my one friend, and we literally both died. Like, she was crazy. She just haunted over and over and over again. So I don't know if that's a common occurrence or if I caught her on a bad day, because like she was haunting over and over. So again, it shows here coming soon. This is where you mark your evidence, okay? This is the possible ghost. So when you mark the evidence, it helps break it down for you. And then you select here and hit end investigation, which we've shown in the other video before. But you want to know where the breaker box is. There's only one breaker box. There's light switches in every room, but if she cuts the power, there's only one breaker box, and this is where it is. So we go straight down the hallway. We make a left. If we go up those stairs, that's the creepateria, but we're going to go this way, and then we're going to open this door. We can turn on the light, because she cut the power already. She cut the power and I haven't even done anything. But it's right up here. Okay? So right up here, you flick that back up, then you can turn the lights on. But depending on who it is, they'll continue to keep cutting the power. We've already explained about how the secret items work. Here's one right here. If we've looked for them, they're always in a different spot, so it just depends. And yeah, I am going to kill myself, let her haunt me, and get this round over with. Whoa. So that way I can show you the breaker box in the next room. Alright, here we are. We are now at the garden. Here is your computer for checking your cameras. Over here is the board and everything that you need again. We're going to grab a flashlight. Here's the key again. It says pick up key, open door. Okay? Very important, or you'll never get through the game. So we're going to come out here, and we're going to turn here and open this gate. We're going to come down here, come into the frog garden, open that gate. This map's a little confusing, but every gate that you open counts as a room. This is a room. In here, the pool, that also counts as a room. So when you're wanting to do that diary and you need to set it down and close the door, you can set it down in here and close the door. You can set it down in here and close all the doors, so that way it counts as a room. The gargoyle garden also counts as a room, which we're actually going to be going over there to show you where the breaker is. So it's a little more confusing, but these do count as rooms, okay? These are all rooms. Same with the basketball court, which is where we are going. So we come to the basketball court. And there's the breaker right there that'll control everything when she cuts the power, which she has not cut the power here. But, oh, there we go. It was glitched. Doesn't really do much for in here. It's still pretty dark. And then if you go, ooh, casket ball. If you go up the steps here, nope, not these steps. Where is it? Is it those steps? Oh yeah, it is these steps, yeah. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna die. There we go. Yeah, you can go up the steps here, and then there are rooms up in the attic. So here's a room here. It's a lot harder to find secret items here because this map's kind of bigger too. Here's a room in here. So keep that in mind when you're trying to go in different rooms and trying to find her, that there are all kinds of rooms up here. This is like a little science lab up here where Frankie be doing some of her experiments. Probably where she made Hoodooed. All that fun stuff. As for these guys, I don't have them all memorized, so your best bet is to just try to run around. Don't corner yourself and look for one. They're placed all over the place. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully that breaks things down a little bit better for you. And hopefully that makes more sense when you're trying to get a ghost in a specific room so you can catch her on camera. Like if you're trying to figure out if it's Laguna or something on the camera. What I like to do is I'll try to call her with the spirit box, because even if they don't respond in the spirit box by talking, the spirit box gets their attention. Like if you say show yourself, sometimes it will actually spawn the ghost, or it'll bring them into that room. So if you bring it into the room, like constantly keep calling it and then quickly run back to the computer, sometimes you can quickly check the cameras and catch her and her orbs. It's even easier if you have a partner. Like I stay in the room and I constantly call them on the spirit box, and then my friend just kept watching the cameras to see if she showed up. But then I also had like the EMF reader with me because we were trying to figure out if it was, I think it was Laguna or Rebecca. So I kept calling it because sometimes if you call it into the room too, it'll set off the EMF because they're doing activity in that room. And it was awesome because she watched the camera for the orbs, I watched the EMF, all of a sudden the orbs showed up. And yeah, so you can use the spirit box to really manipulate them. So keep that in mind because there's several options that you can ask them. You know, like, are you here? Show yourself. Give us a sign. You know, so keep that in mind. And also remember that the fashion book only works when you leave it alone in a room with the door closed. As for the thermometer, it only works, you know, when they're close by. Things like that. So keep all that in mind. But hopefully this explained things for you and broke things down a little bit better. Glasses, you can literally go in different rooms and check them out. Spirit box, she has to be near you, so you just want to keep walking around with those and trying to find the room that she is in. So hopefully that makes some more sense for you guys. If you have any more questions, you can always leave me a comment and I will try my best to respond. Please keep in mind when asking questions, I don't make this game. I am not the creator of this game. I do not work for Mattel, nor do I work for Fortnite. So you gotta stop asking me why the game is glitching or not working or if the game is down right now, because I don't know what they're doing. I only know how to play it, okay? I can't fix when it's not working. I appreciate you think I have that kind of power, but I just don't. So let's maybe not leave me a whole bunch of comments asking why the game isn't working, because I don't have an answer for you, unfortunately. That is something you'll have to maybe report on Fortnite or something like that. So yeah, and also just be patient because it's a new game. And this is, I think, this might be Mattel's first time ever pairing with Fortnite. I don't know. I think this is the first time they've ever made a game on Fortnite. So be patient with them, right? Because there's a new Huggy game from Poppy's Playtime that's out, actually by Mob Entertainment. I went to play it yesterday. I couldn't get it to work at all. So, you know, when something first gets released, it has some problems. But stay tuned because once I get it working, I'm probably going to do a video on the new Poppy's Playtime game because I'm pretty excited that there's actually a Fortnite game that's free for that. So stay tuned. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for the likes, comments, subscription, support. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is. I hope it's freaking fantastic. And if it's your birthday, happy freaking birthday. And I will see you guys in the next video.